we're going to talk about insurance and equipment and such. Well, if you have a special needs kid like I do that has multiple disabilities and extra things, they require extra equipment and extra things that normal kids don't have. Okay, so, what's the big deal, right? Well, every single piece of equipment that you get has a long, fun process. And it's time consuming, consumes your energy, your work schedule, lots of calls, emails, messages, checking up, appointments, all that good stuff. Yeah, everybody wants all that extra stuff in their daily life to get things that your child needs, right? That sounds fun. Sounds like a great time, huh? So, for one piece of equipment, I'll give you an example. He has a couple things, but we'll just do one. One was a stroller. Well, because he already had a wheelchair that he got because school needed him to have a wheelchair at age 3 when he started school, because it was a mandatory necessity for school, even though I didn't really need it because I used a baby stroller. It was totally fine, right? Well, when I went to go actually get a bigger stroller, because he was way too big for all the baby strollers, and like his feet would touch the ground and his feet would get caught up in the wheels in the regular baby strollers because he was way too big for them, I went for a medical stroller. So, process for that, do you want to know? Do you? Well, the very first appointment, we'll say December, it was in December, with his doctor. So first, initially, after you figure out, hey, I need something. My kid's growing out of this and we need to resize up to the next size of something, or like in this purpose, he had never had a medical stroller before, so it's the first time. But either way, it's pretty much the same process. You make a doctor's appointment with your kid's primary care physician, unless they have a specialty doctor that specifically does this route of equipment. Like rehab will do certain things or whatever, but pretty much it's a regular doctor visit. It's a face-to-face, especially if you have Medicaid, but other insurances also require this, but Medicaid specifically wants a face-to-face doctor's appointment with your PCP, so your child's primary pediatrician, to go over what equipment they need, why they need it, when, how, all that good stuff. Like, they want a detailed description from your primary care physician in a letter of medical necessity and referral, and just like a big thing saying like, this is what the kid needs, this is what diagnosis they have, this is why, blah, 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 all that stuff. Okay, so that's the first visit in December. Then, next it was also getting a referral from PT, so going to see our outpatient PT appointment person and telling them, hey, I went to the primary, requesting a stroller for him. Can you also write up a medical letter of medical necessity to get that going, and obviously show physically why he needs it, because you're his PT person, you know him well. Okay, so that's 2 additional appointments. Not just because, oh, I have my kids yearly or my kid's sick. Like, it has to be a specific, just for this piece of equipment, doctor appointment. So extra appointments, isn't that fun? And then, oh, there's two appointments, because you have to see your primary and like that therapist, whoever the extra person is that would be also requesting something. And it helps obviously to have 2 different providers saying, hey, this kid needs this thing. Like, it's pretty necessary. So that's kind of the purpose of doing both, because one's just your overall primary and the other one, specifically works in that area of equipment and needs and necessity and such, specifically for a stroller for this case, but that's just the first example I have of many. So, all right, so 2 appointments, 2 different doctors writing up stuff, 2 different doctors making paperwork and showing exactly why your kid needs this. Then you meet with the DME company, whatever company is providing that product. Well, another additional third party company is actually making the product and everything, but this DME company is what the doctors and such send their referrals to and their letters to, so that they can be the middleman and request from whatever company we need this equipment from. They're like the middle person that does everything and talks back and forth with the insurance. The doctors and all that for this purpose specifically are left out, and it just is with the DME company that the insurance deals with. Okay, so then you're dealing with the DME company. Then they have to also come out and make an appointment with you, either in your home, usually in your home, because they need to see why you're home, why you need this equipment for use in and out of your home, and just to see basically what your surroundings are, what your kid's doing, blah, blah, blah. So 3 appointments. Okay, so that gets done, and then you're waiting. You're waiting for everyone to compile all their letters and stuff all together and give it to the DME company, for the DME company then to get everything together, put it in like a 20 to 40 some page document to send to insurance to say, this is why this kid needs this specific equipment. Oh, and also with the DME, if you're selecting, I want a stroller, but I need it to have this and this and this, the DME company also does that stuff with you as well. So in addition to that appointment, you're also doing like maybe an in-person view trial of something to see maybe which product or brand works better for you for your needs together. Obviously, I'm the one that's pushing the stroller and needs to use it other than what he needs it for specifically. All right, so it's like 3-4 appointments. Then you're waiting all that time for them to compile everything. It usually takes weeks. I don't know why, but it does. And then you hear back from insurance, and then they usually have more questions. They usually ask like other stupid questions that the primary care or the PT or whatever other extra people you have, but for our part, it's the stroller. And then also the DME company, they ask them questions like, what about this specific, or what about this specific? Even though usually they pretty much answer them in their answers, they still ask questions. They still come back with something every freaking time. Every time. So that delays the process. So then they're going, and whenever they have time, the DME company, because they're very busy, they get lots and lots and lots of patients and people that they need to get equipment and whatever for. So this is really time consuming. So then you're waiting for them to put those answers in, and they submit their answers. Well, me specifically, I'm a very like controlling, hands-on mom, because I want to make sure shit gets done right, because I'm a nurse and I'm a mom and I've been dealing with this stuff for a long time, and so I just like to make sure stuff is correct, because stuff gets messed up, stuff gets missed, people forget to do things, people let stuff overlap and don't notice something got done and then never follows up with you because they didn't realize it never got done, and things fall through the cracks a lot. I see it a lot, like way too much a lot. So me, for that reason, I'm a very hands-on mom for that purpose. All right, so then the DME company then answers all these questions for the insurance and sends it back in. And that's, each time they do this is 2 weeks to about 4 weeks minimal that they have to put the answers in, that insurance has to answer back, whether that request for that equipment is denied or approved or whatnot. Well, for me specifically with the stroller, it was really bad, like really, really bad. The person, the admin who was doing all the paperwork and compiling stuff and, needing to get answers from things and getting inbound faxes or emails, she wouldn't tell me for weeks and weeks that she didn't have like one piece of information or one letter she needed to put everything together to send out to insurance. She didn't tell me because she wasn't paying attention. So a month later I was like, hey, so it's like February. I was like, hey friend, how's that insurance thing coming? Have you guys submitted, or have they come back with any questions yet? What's going on? And mind you, I had everything into them by like the beginning of January, mid-January, because I made sure I got my appointments in with everybody right away and had everything prepped and planned because I know things take a while and we really, really, really need the equipment. Okay, so then next, she says, oh, I never got this letter from this doctor. You didn't? You didn't, really? Because I have the actual letter in my freaking hand because she sent it to me the same time she sent it to you, because I asked my doctor to send me it just because I know things get misplaced or missed and I want to make sure all my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed, just in case. For this reason, for these people specifically that did this to me. Well, she said she didn't have it. So I go back to the doctor, and it takes time for them to get the messages you send and reply and get things done because it's a doctor's office. They're super busy too. So it takes a few days for that. And then they're like, okay, we resent it, blah, blah. And then I'd go back to the lady and she would be like, oh, and mind you, she doesn't answer right away the same day or next couple days. Usually they don't answer for like a freaking week or something. So then that's a couple more weeks, like back and forth. Oh, I know I didn't get that second letter. Oh, but hey, I found that first one. It was my spam email, or oh, I moved it into a different folder in my email. So I did find the first one. So we're good now. Okay. 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 All right, great. So when are we gonna have the next, stuff? When's everything getting sent? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I'd give it a few weeks, maybe a month or so to let them do their stuff and get it back and blah, 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 and reach out. Oh, no one was doing that. So then I start emailing or calling and saying, hey, what's up? Hey, where's that paperwork? Hey, what's going on? Where are we at in the process? Has insurance given you an answer yet? Blah, blah, blah. No answer. So I'm, replying every week, once a week, asking the same thing because they're not getting back to me. And then finally they get back to me a few weeks later. Oh, well, we're also missing this piece of paperwork. What? Same thing, same process. It was something that was supposed to be faxed and it was misplaced, or there was a typo in something. I don't know. This went on for weeks. No, it went on for a few months. So I don't think the actual paperwork and everything got sent to insurance, I think, until like April. Maybe it was early May, but I think it was April, yeah. I should have taken that long. But she kept misplacing things or didn't get something faxed or forgot to call me or email me and say, hey, we're missing this piece of paperwork. We need this to submit your stuff. That's what a normal company would do. Normal. Well, she never did that. It was always me reaching out every few weeks, few months to say, hey, where are you at? Hey, where are you at? Them not answering for a few weeks usually, and then getting back to me and saying, oh, we still need this. It happened way too often. I was so pissed. Anyways, I think the first time, it was like the end of April, and they're like, oh, I have all these questions from insurance. The first time that they got questions back from insurance. It shouldn't have taken that long. But anyways, answered all the questions, and all the questions were pretty much stuff that they kind of already answered or maybe should have answered, but didn't ask me in the first place or didn't ask doctor to get those things. Then they submitted those, and they came back in like 2 weeks. And then same thing. It was just back and forth, like me, hey, little nudger, hey, what's going on? Hey. And I wouldn't do it daily. I'm not like that. It would be like weekly or monthly that I would do it when I knew that they should have had something in by a certain time. And I'm a normal person. I'm a nurse. I get it. Things take time. Offices aren't just working on your stuff. Totally get it. So I give them time. I definitely give them time. When I know something should take a few days, I'll give them a full week, maybe 2, because I'm not the only client. He's not the only client. I get it. And then there's things like insurance coming back to them in an answer. I know that would take 2 weeks. I mean, they can take up to 4 weeks tops, but never longer than that. They're not allowed to take more than that time from insurance to answer back in questions. So I'd give them a full month, maybe like a month and a half before I'd email and say something, because they need that time to do that stuff. And every time there was always an issue with something. Really, really sad. And not just the insurance, but from the DME company. But, you know, besides the point. On another note, that went back and forth, blah, blah, blah. And then finally, we got the denial. Okay, they should have approved it, but because he has a stroller already, insurance only covers like one mode of transportation every 5 years. And he was already like, I think 5. And he got the stroller at 3. Or not stroller, a wheelchair at 3. Which they have totally different purposes. And for him specifically with having seizures and such, I wanted it to be able to tilt back so that he can rest after he has seizure medication, because you can't do that in his wheelchair. His wheelchair does not recline at all whatsoever, which makes it unsafe if you're having a seizure or like after seizure and you're next like this because you're falling asleep and you're cutting off your airway and you're like, yeah, that's not good. So he needed that for that and like other reasons. There was a bunch of reasons that I thought of and the doctors and therapists also thought of why he needed this stroller. In addition to having the wheelchair that he uses for only school, because I don't need it and it's big and bulky and it doesn't fit that great in the car because it doesn't fold up like a regular one. Anyways, then let's see. Then what happened? What happened after that? What happened after that, Kason? Oh, and then, so the denial. They tried to appeal it. It didn't work. It didn't work. They got denied again. Okay. So what else do we do? Ask long-term support waiver to cover it. And do you know what they need? They need all of that paperwork, like 40 some pages of stuff, plus the doctor letter, plus the therapist letter, plus my information of, you know, stuff for them to know and all that paperwork. And then I think I needed to go get an additional recommendation, and they needed that paper from Medicaid and the other insurance of them saying they denied them paying for the stroller. Okay, that's what they needed. They needed all of that stuff. And then they finally got it. And then it took like 4 months to make that stroller. So we didn't get it till December of that year. So it took a full calendar year from I saw a doctor, his doctor, to get that first initial referral and letter out to we got it in our hands in our home by making an additional appointment to do setup, sizing, all that good stuff with the DME company so that we could get that. Do you know how many appointments, visits, calls, emails, messages, waiting, that we had to do to get one piece of equipment? Yeah. Do you feel a little stressed now? Just a little? Just a little? Just a little stressed? Well, imagine having a child with multiple disabilities that have different complex needs so that they need multiple different things. And then imagine that child also is growing, and as they grow, they seem to grow out of all those different equipment and item and things around the same time because they all grow with them for so many years. And every time they hit like a new weight, size, height, all that good stuff, they need to change the equipment. And they also need to change this thing and that thing and that thing because they're getting way too big for it. Now, are you stressed? Is your brain over anxious and annoyed and just drained? Yeah, that's how I feel. Plus, I work a full-time job, own a home, have pets, have a significant other, and look, I have a kid. I mean, he's a little busy right now, but I have a kid. So that takes so much time. All of those things together take so much time. so much time and energy and money, and it's a little overwhelming at times. Your special needs mom friends need a little extra help sometimes. Just to have a breather, just to have a meal made for them so they don't have to. Take their kid overnight once in a while so they can have like I'm an adult, I can do regular things. You know, not a lot, just once in a while. But that's another topic. That's what respite care and significant others and maybe family if you got it. I mean, that's what that stuff's for. That's a totally different topic though. But this topic, yeah. So doesn't that stress you out just a little bit? Do you want to know why it's so stressful? Do you? Do you really? It is because insurance, guys. We need to change our system with insurance. Insurance is a huge problem. I mean, everybody hates insurance. If you say insurance to any young, old, new person, they all hate it because of how much it costs, what they will and won't cover, brands that they do and don't cover, the cost of things to pay in, the cost that they'll actually cover. Like, it's just all over the place. We all know this. This is not brand new. Our insurance and how the system handles it is not brand new. We all hate it. But it's not new. My concern, my reason for this video is to say we need to actually fix, because we all know it needs to be fixed. Like, we really, really do. It really, really needs to be fixed, but that's just a whole nother can of worms, I'm sure, that I don't really know anything about. So I can't really complain about it necessarily because I don't know how to fix it. But for people that need equipment, especially little kids with special needs that have, counting out my toes, plethora of special needs and disabilities and issues that are lifelong and have been determined by like long-term support waiver by 16, 17 different doctors for different specialties since before he was born, and a plethora plus have all said he has this wrong with him, and it's not going to change or get better, or if it does, you know, obviously he's going to progress and get better, but he's always going to have some of these underlying issues. He's always going to be disabled. You would think, just a little thought. You would think insurance at some point would say, wow, well, you're this old. This many doctors say you have this issue. This is the list goes on and on and on of issues you have. By golly, a lot of these issues look like they're like a lifelong thing that you can't fix. Spina bifida. Can't fix that. Hydrocephalus. You can help it. You can fix it with some equipment and things to make it better so it doesn't get worse, but you can't fix it. Hypotonia. You can make it better and helpful in some ways, but can't fix it. Cerebral palsy. Can't fix it. G-tube dependent and dysphagia and things. You can help them, but they're not going to get better. There's just so many things on the list, and the doctors and everything. They're not going to get better. He's going to be disabled. Okay, so don't you think insurance would look at this and say, oh, yeah, he needs this equipment. You don't need to go, you can go to your doctor or your therapist and they can decide, yes, you need this equipment and this is why, and send it to us. And we'll just confirm everything to like look over it and verify and stuff. And then, yeah, we'll approve it. You'd think, right? I mean, that would be the logical idea. I get there's those cases where people have like diagnoses that change or more like acute and not chronic, and you know, things can heal and get better and improve. I get it. But there are certain things that just don't, and they should be approved easier or faster and have less of a straining, hard process. You'd think, right? I get some things do, and I get some people in the past, whenever it was, have abused the system and gotten things when they didn't need it for, God knows what reason. I get it. I get it why they're strict. I get it, why they have guidelines and stuff, but damn, really? Like, the people that you can see need this stuff, you think that they would just say, oh yeah, we've already approved all this stuff because you've needed it, and now you need this and this because you've outgrown that, or you have a new need because they don't make this old equipment for when you're bigger. They have something that's opposite to use instead when you're bigger. Just all that stuff. You'd think they'd say, oh yeah, this kid is disabled. Let's give him a break. He needs it. He can't fake it till he makes it, kind of thing. It's not something that can change. You think, but no. It's like insurance says, well, are you sure you won't get better? Well, do you really need that equipment? Do you just want it because it's nice and shiny and new? Yeah? You think it's nice and shiny and new and you just gotta have it? It's like, it's the brand new car. It's the new model. I gotta have it. You think they think that? Or, yeah, the mom she just thinks her kid needs everything. We're not gonna cover that. Of course not. Why would we cover that? She doesn't need everything. They can get by with the bare minimum. Do you think that's what they think? Because that's what runs through my head. Do you think I want to make all these extra appointments in my busy day, work life, human life? Do you think I want to make extra appointments? Make extra phone calls? Make extra emails? My chart messages? Do you think I do all that for fun? Do you? For fun? Just because I want to? Just for shits and giggles? No. Do you think I do it just because I want to have the brand new, shiny, brand new stuff? Because I just got to have the new 2.0 of this and the new this, and I want this in red and I want this in blue and the same thing, and I want it also in pink? I gotta have it? No. Do you think I just want extra free shit? Extra free shit to store in my house because I really have room. This is a medical equipment. This is a medical equipment. This is a medical equipment. I mean, it's not like medical equipment, this stuff specifically. I mean, I made that. We just got that. And that obviously is a chair for sitting in. I mean, they're not medical equipment. They're like things we use that we need to utilize for him to like live and function and be somewhat normal, But they're not like medical equipment, like a stroller, like a medical handicap stroller, or a wheelchair, or like crutches, or they're not like actual equipment, but they're things we use. But this is not what I'm talking about, that stuff. But I'm just saying, do you think I just want this stuff because I want free stuff in my house to take up all the extra space that I don't have, just so my kid can have it? No. Do you think do you think insurance just does that? They think people just want stuff just because? We're just gonna say, no, she doesn't need it. They need to do that extra doctor appointment and that extra letter and that extra waiting time and extra stress just because? Yeah, should we? Should we just say, no, we'll deny it, we'll see what she does? Do you think that's what they do? Because it sure feels like it. Like I just want free stuff, or I just need the new updated version, or I want to take up all my time and energy and money and saneness just to get one piece of equipment when he needs a stroller, a fixed up wheelchair that has extra stuff because school needs it, a new gait trainer, a new, what else do we got? A new bed, not a regular bed, like an actual like enclosed like functioning special needs bed to keep this kid intact, because sometimes he's just not. It's just a plethora of things. And now at the age of 6, he is outgrowing many things. So we're going through the process of all these things, and they all take their own doctor visits and their own therapist visits and their own DME visits, because not all DME companies are doing each of these things. Some of them are doing 2, some of them are doing 1, and other ones doing 1. It's kind of a whole process. So fun. Doesn't it sound fun? Doesn't it sound like so fun? Like you want to spend all of your time and energy on it instead of with your kids, with your pets, doing house chores, going to work every freaking day full time, significant other, spending time with them. Where do you find all this time? Where? Just where? Tell me. You have a secret? I want to know. But I just think the insurance things, they just want this stuff. They don't need it. Nah, they don't need it. Well, guess what? Fucking need it. And that is the lesson of DME insurance and equipment for today. Thank you for listening. Tune in for the next topic. And if you have any good ideas of topics that you'd like me to discuss, because I have a lot of information and knowledge, just shoot a little comment below and I might just have some information or knowledge to share on that particular item or subject. Let me know. Thank you.